that transaction now resulted in, infinite business.
So the big question is, what are top agents doing to absolutely crush it in real estate, grow their teams and add more transactions year over year while so many struggle? To get the answers, we interview top real estate agents to learn their secrets to success. Listen, we believe every agent should make a minimum of $100,000 per year, and we're on a mission to make this happen. We've already helped over 100 agents achieve this with our coaching. So if you want to fast track your business growth, get to your first $100,000 in GCI or add another $100,000 in GCI using social strategies, then head over to go.eliteagentsecrets.com, or you can just click the link in the description below. Also, just make sure to follow us, hit that subscribe button, and if you get any value from this at all, please tell a friend and leave us a review. My name is Andrew Dunn.
And my name is Peter Michael. Welcome to Elite Agent Secrets.
What I want to do is I want to roll into your second topic, because I think this is an important one, because I think when we talk about sacrifice, your second topic is basically one of the things that should never be sacrificed. And this is like one of these rarer things that, like, there is certain sacrifices you can make in real estate and in business and in life. And this is not one of them, which is, always doing the right thing, even if you're losing money, and being ethical in your business, like just doing the right fucking thing. So give us a bit of a backstory. I'm sure there's a story to this one, because it's very specific, which we love, because we're totally on board with this. We were just speaking about two clients who got their first home and they were well under market price and all this craziness. And it wasn't a great deal for us, but it was the right thing to do. So we did it anyway. And it was like, we're helping them and we're going to do it because it's the right thing to do. So tell us what you mean, doing the right thing, and give us a backstory, because there's a story there I can tell.
Yeah, so I'll give a little plug to, I think, my parents. They raised me. I think my dad's also a small business owner. He's in the appliance business, but I've always seen him. He calls himself a schmuck, but he's just a really nice guy, and he's lost business. He's taken returns back that he shouldn't have taken back. He's just always doing the right thing, and I think growing up and watching my father, I kind of took that into my practice as well. And it builds trust with people. So I think for me and for any agent in real estate, when you find yourself chasing that commission check, your business will fail. It's not about the money. If you do the right things and you're ethical and you can sleep at night knowing that you didn't lie to anyone, you didn't do something wrong, the money will follow. And I think people early on are so desperate for those commission checks that they will sell someone a house that they know it has something wrong or is not going to be worth what they're buying it 4 or 5 years from now. And I will never do that in my business. And I try and teach the agents around me, because this is all a long-term relationship. We're building clients for life, as I call it. So with my practice, and this is the same thing for co-op brokers and whatnot too. Like, it's very important, your relationship with other agents, especially in a competitive market like this. If you're friendly with an agent and they have that listing, chances are they're going to try and help you get it. So your relationship with other agents is so important, and the ethics and doing the right thing, not just with your clients but other agents, is so important.
And especially in a market where everybody knows everybody, once you hit a certain level, right, you're dealing with the same people majority of the time. There's always those few people, I'm sure everybody has them in their market, where they have a shit ton of listings, and the odds of you running into them is, Andrew, help me out here, inevitable.
Inevitable.
There you go.
But I like the organic nature of this show, where Peter's like, can you just help me out with some of my English live on air so our listeners know for sure.
Listen, I'm not perfect. You don't have to be either. And I don't pretend to be, right? And that's the beauty of what we do here.
That's what I love about it, man.
I just literally had, I just ran into this, Gordon, exactly what you're sharing with. And I told my client, like, straight up, hey, listen, I am not sure what you can or cannot do or may not be able to do, but I will find the answer. I'm not going to tell you that you can do X, Y, Z, A, B, C and lead you down the wrong path, right? Long story short is, we closed on a property. Everything was good. Inspection was great. Then they up tearing the floor 2 months later, and they find these gigantic settlement cracks in the foundation. Nobody would have known, what, that was there. Well, at least as of right now. But I'm not going to tell, my clients of like, yes, do this, do that without, proper background advice or being ever in that type of situation. So ethically, I'm not going to also throw the other agent under the bus and say, oh my God, they should have told us. Because very well, they had no idea. The seller's disclosure didn't have any of that stuff. So now it's not that it's not my problem, but now it's my job, duty, responsibility, and obligation to point them in the right direction because of how I operate. I'm not just going to wash my hands. I got my check. Let's move on to the next one. No, like let me find out whether, maybe there's an attorney that you can consult. But at the same time, I need to kind of distance myself because it was neither one of our faults as and just doing the right thing for the client.
It's the deal doesn't end at the closing table. Even if it was a bad deal and it was not the smoothest transaction, you always have to get your clients the advice and consultation, whether you're getting paid for it or not. It's the key to the business. I have just a quick 1-minute story, just to what I mean by ethics and how important it is in my business. If I can share it real quick, I'd love to. It's just a real quick story. So I do a lot of new construction business in the city of Philadelphia. Obviously, very up and coming, a lot of development going on. But I had a client that bought something pre-construction about, I think it was 8 or 9 months in advance, in a up and coming area of the city. Anyway, fast forward, 8 months later, the house was finished. We go for the home inspection, and it was just a shit show. Like, this was a new construction house, and the home inspector had to come back 3 times. And the builder and their foreman, they just couldn't get it right. I don't know if they were on drugs. I don't know what the deal was. To make a long story short.
Welcome to Philly.
You got to be careful in Philly. But I told my clients, guys, you have $15,000, or I think it was 15 or 20,000 with whatever it was as an earnest money deposit. I'm like, guys, I would rather you risk this 15, 20 grand and let's get out of the deal. They waited 8 months for their house to be built. This was, I think it was almost a $600,000 house. So, the commission on that. And I said, guys, let's get out of here. Let's go look at more properties. We hit the reset button. I got them an attorney. We fought that thing, and I had to go spend however many more hours now showing them that many more houses just to make sure that they were protected. So it could have easily let them buy that thing. Every other realtor probably did. In that community, because it was like a big HOA community. But we got out of there, and we found out like a year later that there were so many issues with all the residents that closed over there. So it's all about karma. I'm a big believer in karma as well with that ethical stuff.
And the other thing, this is something that a lot of short-minded, short-term cash-grabbing realtors that are out there, and hopefully,
we're talking to you.
Yeah, and hopefully they're not listening, or they're looking to change their ways, because the reality is, doing that, what you did there, you got a client for life. And everyone else they want to buy to is like, listen, we use Gordon. Gordon literally saved us from closing on a nightmare, 600 grand. We could have lost our shirts, and he stopped us. He got us an amazing home. Like, the biggest fact, goes into every relationship in the world, your partner, spouse, whatever. The biggest thing is trust. Like, do you really trust the person? Business relationships, this is huge. Like, when it all comes down to it, do you trust, them to not cheat? Do you trust them to do the job properly without you like micromanaging? If you're micromanaging people like that, it's because they don't trust you. That's why they don't trust you. And, that trust is earned. I'm not saying like if you just start out like shit, it's going to happen, of course, but like this is how you build vendor relationships, and this is how you build clients for life that just make you so much money. Like, that one relationship's probably going to net you 6 figures over the next decade plus in relationships, referrals, buys and sells. And that's where people just don't see the vision of real estate. This is why I say it's a 10-year game. Plan for at least 10 years, because in that time, you'll basically should get at least 2 cycles from every client. And if you're good at relationships, that means every client, you should get 3 or 4 deals just from them, not including referrals. And then it's like, doesn't take a lot of that to win a lot of money. So we're not saying here, you got to go spend, £1 billion on ads. Like, you can do that to begin with. We're big advocates for that. But you don't need to do it down the line. Like, that's the difference between, advertising and marketing and building a brand is something that relationships and stuff build, because they're like, his team are amazing. That's branding. That's marketing.
So we ended up selling that client a cheaper home. But since that, they've referred me to 3 of their colleagues. They just had their second kid. We're getting ready to list the home that I sold them, and they just bought a brand new construction as well. So that resulted, that transaction now resulted in, infinite business. So that's
what, 4 more. So in total, so far, that's 5 deals.
Yeah.
So 5 deals, even, I know I'm lowballing you here, but even if it was, say, 5, or let's say 10 grand a transaction, that one is now turned into 50K in your pocket. Done. From being like a decent person and running your business.
Well, it's about, man. It's not rocket science. Being a decent person, period. Like just be straight up and ethical and with everyone that you do business with.
Oh, and by the way, if you're listening to this and you aren't making at least $100,000 per year in GCI and you're looking for a predictable system to get you there, then head over to go.eliteagentsecrets.com.